I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am.
We are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special episode of Downstream Outdoors. This is episode number 1 in the series we're calling We Are DownStream Outdoors. This is our big build-up to our 200th episode, which is coming here in February. And we're going to bring some of our favorites back from previous episodes, guys and ladies that have helped teach us things. And we're going to bring them back, interview them one-on-one, and then hopefully we're going to set them all down at one time for a big roundtable discussion with everybody, which would be great. And that'll be our big build-up, like I said, to our 200th episode. This week, we have Bill Weaver with us. Bill Weaver's our trapping expert. He's done all kinds of trapping videos with us. Welcome, Bill.
Good to be back.
All right. Bill, you are obviously our trapping guy. What is your earliest memories of enjoying the outdoors?
Oh man, that goes back to with my dad and grandfather. We would go out and hunt and everything together. And I actually didn't get into trapping till I was about I was probably about 17 years old. But deer hunting, squirrel hunting, and all that, those are my earliest memories.
Who was it that actually got you into trapping?
Actually, I got myself into trapping, really. So.
Okay, so you didn't have, like, your grandfather didn't trap or anything like that. It was something that you decided to seek out and learn on your own.
Yeah, my dad and grandfather, they trapped whenever they were younger, My grandfather trapped as a kid, my dad trapped as a kid, but they both had given it up over the years and everything else, and we didn't have any traps around except for a few for groundhogs around the barn and stuff. But other than that, it was just something I sought out off on my own,
Okay, so right now you're dealing with about 20 years experience.
Yes.
So you've been in it quite a while. Do you remember the first animal you ever trapped?
It was a skunk.
It was a skunk? What'd you do with it?
Well, I learned how to skin right then and there, I dispatched it that night, and I actually skinned it the next morning, and through trial and error, I really learned is what it was.
You didn't consider making a hat or anything? That would have been kind of fun.
No, I did try tanning it, but it didn't work out. First thing I'd ever tanned, and it kind of fell apart on me, but now I know how to tan too, so.
Okay, right on. So, obviously you've been teaching the trapping stuff for our audience at this point in time. What made you decide to want to share this knowledge that you've acquired?
It's one of those things that a lot of guys keep things a secret, and I mean, trapping's not a secret. There's plenty of videos by good people out there besides myself, that you can watch. But whenever I kind of really started trapping, nobody really wanted to share their secrets with you. They didn't want to tell you if you did meet somebody else that trapped. They didn't want to tell you how to make a dirt hole set. They didn't want to tell you how to make a flat set because they wanted to keep that secret because the price of furs was actually pretty good at the time, and now it's not that great. So, not a lot of guys are trapping, but people want to get into it and be more involved in the outdoors. So I figured I'd share my knowledge, and however you want to critique it, you can critique it.
Now, that you touched on it very briefly there. That's something we really haven't talked about a whole lot on any of your episodes. Obviously, there is a market for the furs that you trap.
Yes.
And just like most other markets, it fluctuates, except it fluctuates widely, doesn't it?
Oh,
From
yes.
year to year, it could be a drastic difference.
Yeah.
Where am I getting at?
Some years, coyotes could be at $150 a pelt, and other years you could get $5 a pelt for them. Back in the 1980s and the end of the 70s, fur prices were extremely high. You were looking at like $200 for a coyote and, $75 for right down to a muskrat. But now it's, you might be lucky to get $4 for a muskrat or $8 for a raccoon, or, and some of your smaller, not prime furs, you're only looking at a few dollars for them. But with, the market fluctuating as heavily as it has been the past couple years, a lot of guys have just gotten out of it, and it really is a dying sport. I mean, with the controversy of, whether trapping is humane or not, and there's a lot of people that don't think it is, and a lot of people won't give you permission on their land because generations take over farms, or the farms are sold to somebody else, and it's just something that's kind of dying out. And that's another reason why I decided, hey, let's share my knowledge and tell people about this too. Keep it going.
Which a lot of our viewers on YouTube don't actually know. Bill works extensively, and I've helped him a little bit. We try to educate people with trapping and to show them that it's not just senseless murder. It's not, senseless violence for nothing. If you mistakenly catch something, you can actually release it unharmed back into the wild. It's one of the benefits of the modern day trapping system is that you can pick and choose what you're actually harvesting and not harvest everything.
Yep.
Now we talked a little bit about prices. What a lot of people don't know is like things like the Paris runway fashions from year to year actually dictate the prices that you're getting for your furs here in central Pennsylvania.
Yes, they do actually. That, and also, it's mostly the garment market that really does that. A lot of coyote and a lot of raccoon and stuff like that go for trim around hoods of coats, around the cuffs and stuff like that. Nobody's really wearing a full fur coat anymore. There are some people that still do, but the days of that, you're looking in like the 1950s to the 1980s. They were really big, the fur coats, but now you don't see anybody wearing them, but they still wear the trim. They're used in making gloves, the linings and gloves and stuff like that. And like Paul said, the fashion market really dictates that. Other things that you can gather from animals that they use is castor gland out of beavers is actually used in making vanilla flavoring.
And they actually call it natural flavoring because it comes from an animal. They can call it natural vanilla flavoring.
Natural vanilla flavoring. Skunk essence is actually used in making perfumes. It's a carrier. They dilute it down enough that it carries the scent of the perfume from the person or the cologne from the person, but it doesn't have that skunky smell. They add the flowery smells or the musky smells or whatever. Muskrat gland is also used in that too. So,
and honestly, who doesn't want to rub an anal gland on themselves? I mean, that's for everybody, I assume, right? And they want to dab a little bit of that skunk urine on them. That's great. Personally, I don't wear a lot of colognes or perfumes. We smell enough like nature, I assume.
Yeah, I smell like trapping lures all the time, so...
Which, if you ever meet Bill in real life, he's probably going to get you to try to smell one of his trapping lures. Here, smell this. Tell me that one don't stink. He broke that out to us earlier here while we were filming some videos. Here, smell this new lure I got. People are wretched as soon as they smell it.
Unfortunately, these guys didn't make much of a reaction.
No, it didn't really bother us that much. What could I say? But, I'm actually pleased Bill got himself a new truck this year. Normally, we'd be sitting here and it would smell like skunks are living in the back of his truck. So, it's a good thing.
As of right now, I've only had the truck for 3 weeks. So, I haven't had lures or anything else in it yet. So,
okay, now, ultimately, trapping isn't your life.
No.
If you're not trapping, what do people find you doing mostly?
Well, I work at Penn State. I work for the Animal Diagnostic Laboratory. I'm a necropsy technician, and to explain that, I autopsy dead animals for a living is really what I do. That gave me a lot of knowledge on animals, how they live, how they eat, and everything else. We get... our focus up there is actually food animal, like cows and chickens and pigs and stuff like that. Somebody has something die or they have a die-off on their farm, they bring it to us and we tell them how they can correct that problem or work with their veterinarian to correct that problem. But then we also work semi-closely with the Game Commission, and they bring in wild animals and we test them for things like CWD and rabies and stuff like that. We also do autopsies on them too. And like I said, opening the especially coyotes and fox and everything up and seeing what's inside their stomach, like mice and chipmunks and squirrels and stuff like that, gives you a really good idea on what they like to eat or, but you have to really dictate that to your trapping to the area. Is there a lot of rabbits around? Is there a lot of scavenging that they do in that area or something like that. So it's helped me doing that. I mean, my job has really helped me doing that. And then also I run a nuisance control business on the side. I go around and catch skunks, raccoons, whatever's coming in around your house for people. And I also do bat exclusions too. That pertains a lot of standing on ladders and making sure where the bats are going in and out of the house and everything else.
So basically, your whole life you've dedicated to cutting open dead animals or removing animals from people's lives.
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, is there anything else you like to do for fun? Just pure, plain, simple fun.
I'm also a big I love whitetail hunting. The predator, the night hunting, the predator hunting. That's something that I've done since I was probably about 14 or so. I actually got into that before I got into trapping. My first light was held with a car battery, and it was an old spotlight with a lens from one of the blinking lights along the road actually taped to it. So it was. And one of the students that I graduated high school with, he actually made me my first predator call. So that's how I got into that.
Right on. Do you still have that call?
I actually do.
Yeah. Do you ever actually still use it?
I do use that call, and but I need new rubber bands for it, because all it is 2 little strips of wood with rubber bands wrapped around and a rubber band that runs between that makes a squealing rabbit sound.
That is pretty neat. We'd love to see that sometime.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add for our fans on this interview?
Not really. Just get outside and enjoy, You don't get many days to do this stuff, so live life,
Right on. That's words to live by. It is really. Bless you.
Thank you.
We're not editing that out. We're keeping that in there.
That's part of there struggling through what I was trying to say and had to sneeze. So.
All right. Well, with that, I don't know that I can end this the way I normally would. This is a special series. Got any way to end your interview segment?
Not really. Just get out there and enjoy in tight chains.
All right. Keep looking for. Look for more episodes coming out in the near future. We're going to do these every week, building up to the 200th anniversary episode, where we're interviewing different people that have been featured on Downstream Outdoors for different purposes. And then, like I said, we're going to round it all off with a nice big roundtable discussion with a bunch of people. And we're really going to celebrate this 200th anniversary episode big time. We're also doing a great giveaway. Make sure you check out that giveaway. There should be links to that on our Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I am going out of my mind. Until next time.